All right, Tech fans, it's game week. Georgia Tech takes on Minnesota this Friday at 4 o'clock, and that means it's time for our final segment of Around the Diamond when we discuss the Yellow Jacket bullpen. I'm Wiley Ballard, joined by head coach Danny Hall. And Coach, there's a couple names I know you have at the top of your list when it comes to the Tech bullpen, so let's start with those guys.
Well, I think much like our starting rotation, we have 4 or 5 guys that have thrown a lot of innings for us these last couple years. Some of them have been in our bullpen, some of them have had starting roles, but it gives us a lot more confidence knowing that these guys have some experience. First guy's Jared Daytok. Thought really contributed greatly to our team last year. All of his were relief appearances, but the thing I really like about him, he's competitive, good fastball, but he really has a good slider and a good cutter, and seems to kind of thrive in those moments. So have him there, have Micah Carpenter, who again has primarily been a relief guy, but felt like had a really good summer last summer, had a good fall. He's got a good arm. He has improved his slider. Ben Schneiderjans, again, just continues to improve, and I think the one thing we kind of saw with him last year is that he would get along pretty good for 3 innings, and then all of a sudden he would have a bad inning where he'd kind of lose command of his pitches and would end up getting in some trouble. So we're probably going to limit him to 2-3 inning cracks or 1 inning cracks here and there. Let him come in, throw his fastball, throw his slider, in hopes that he has more success for us. Keaton Gibson, I think one of the things he's given us some good starts, but he really seems to be more comfortable in the bullpen. And again, you're talking about a guy that's got a really good arm, sinking fastball, hard breaking ball, and he's a junior. He's a great athlete, probably one of the best athletes on our team. And then we already mentioned that we could put Jake Lee in that bullpen. So feel like again it's some of those upper class pitchers that we're going to lean on to kind of get into the backside of our bullpen. One guy I will mention, Robert Winborn. We've kind of dropped him down a little bit. He's throwing kind of a not underhand, but he's more kind of a low sidearm guy. Also Patrick Weisman, we've kind of dropped him down, so I could see those 2 guys eating some innings. And then one of our infielders, Oscar Serratos, I think also has the capability of not only having a good arm, but good breaking ball and good changeup. So I feel much more comfortable about where we're at in our bullpen.
One of the biggest losses for Tech in their bullpen will be Zach Ryan, who is a big part of that back end and those 9th innings the last couple of years. Obviously, roles will be continuously defined throughout the year, but what do you have in mind when you think of your prototypical closer? What do you want to see from that type of pitcher?
I think the biggest thing you always count on is he's got to throw strikes. You don't want to have a closer that's going to go in and walk guys and kind of put guys on and put you in trouble, unless that guy just has tremendous stuff. And you'll see that every now and then. A guy might walk a couple, but then he'll strike 2 out. I don't see anybody right now other than Xavier Curry that could go there and just go dominate guys if he's walking them. So I think the key for us is who can throw strikes, who can kind of handle the pressure, so to speak, of getting those last 3 outs. The last 3 outs are very hard to get a lot of times, so you need a guy that can handle it mentally, but also a guy that's going to throw a lot of strikes.
And Coach, as we wrap up our Around the Diamond series, again, first pitch against Minnesota at 4 o'clock. What are you looking forward to most this season, your 25th year here at Georgia Tech?
I want our program to get back on track here. I feel like we haven't achieved at the level that I want us to achieve at. So we've done a lot of things to try to reestablish certainly our culture, reestablish the standard of excellence that Georgia Tech stands for. And one of Todd Stansbury's big things is we develop everyday champions. So kind of on that theme, we want to work hard every day to get better. And we know if we do that on the field, off the field, that we will be everyday champions. And so just reestablishing the standard that the Georgia Tech fan base, Georgia Tech administration, myself, and all our former players, we want to put Georgia Tech back in the national limelight. It's not easy. We play in a tremendous conference. We have a tough non-conference schedule, but that's the way we're attacking the 2018 season.
And we'll get it started this Friday, the first of 56 games for Georgia Tech against Minnesota at 4 o'clock at Russ Chandler Stadium. You'll be there. We hope you will be too as the Jackets take on Minnesota.